Alright, this morning I'm going to be rebuilding pump number 1. I'm not sure where I'm going to set this camera up to where you guys can see as best as you can without me knocking it down or getting in the way. But Corkin asked me to replace the push pins, and I'm going to do a little short little intro for this to go over that. But I've already done my lockout tag out on my circuit breaker inside for pump number 1. I also have got, you should be able to see that, got lockout tag out on that valve, and then lockout tag out on that valve. And like I had said earlier, that in my strainer here, in my blowdown valve, I've installed a 1/4 inch pipe plug, and I use that 1/4 inch pipe plug to drain all of my liquid out. I also use it as a tap if I want to for a pressure gauge, but I'm using it now to drain into this 100-pound cylinder, so I'm draining out all the liquid from that 4-inch pipe going from my shutoff valve to the outlet side of the pump. And then I'll keep the hose attached, and then I'll use this same 100-pound cylinder to provide vapor pressure to pressure my whole piping system right back up when I'm ready. One thing I always like to do whenever I drain down a section of pipe for a pump is pull the strainer screen, because you're always going to find something, because those rail cars, all of them, they use so much Teflon tape at these refineries when they put these plugs in, that you get just hundreds of thousands of shards of Teflon tape. And even though I got screens, I installed this summer strainer screens down on the rail side, you still get stuff. It runs through your system. So now's the time to check it. Come on, get on there. Now there's a compressed fiber gasket in here. Yeah, one tore. I keep a cowl magnet in here to catch the metal. But look at all that garbage. Look at that. All that junk just accumulates. And almost all of it comes from the cars. So we'll have to go and take this. I usually just use this one's not so bad. I usually just use air and a wire brush, and that usually gets it. So cowl magnets are the way to go. They catch all the metal. You're always going to get something. You can get cowl magnets at any farm supply store or Amazon. So I'm going to pause this, and then I'm going to go and clean everything else up and get myself a new gasket. Alright, what I'm going to work on now is removing this quad-reflex sleeve. Getting this opened up so I can get that sleeve pulled, because I need to take this piece off so I can pull the cam out. One of the first things I want to do is clean up this shaft a little bit, because I'm going to be pushing this piece toward my gear drive. Just want to get kind of cleaned up. And a little penetrating oil on it. Each piece here has 2 set screws. I think they're 3/16 is what I think they are. Find out. Well, I just had them. No, I don't think they're 3/16. I'll try an 1/8, but I think that's too small. Yeah, that's too small. Let's try 5/32. Some insect filled this thing full of dirt. All right, that's loose enough. Yeah. Now, let's see if we can get this thing to walk apart here. Come on now. This one's bottomed out. I really can't go much more on that. Let's double check. that fooled me. That one fooled me. Yeah, that one's good. All right, as you can tell, I had to pull my gear drive out. I could not get that plate off. I couldn't get it to move. I ended up having to pull my gear drive and get a gear puller on that thing, get it off. Well, I polished up the shaft and polished everything else up, so it's on there now. So what I've done is I've got all the liquid drained out, and I believe I have all the pressure drained out. My pressure gauges say I'm empty, but this is where we're going to double check. I'll shut off my needle valve. Come on now. Oh, you bastard. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and take this pressure gauge out. We'll open this up to be sure. Yeah, there's nothing in there. We'll pull this pressure gauge too. It's just kind of in my way. Once again, we'll just open that up. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Got this piece off, came off really well. I just took some 240 grit emery cloth and polished that up. Now we're going to take off the bearing cap as I find all my pieces that I want. Right there's all my shims. We just keep them all in place. And here's going to come out the bearing and well, pretty soon here's the bearing. Some two other parts, I just put them right in reverse order. Now, the bearing's held in by a, oh, what do you call that? A spiral retainer. That's what holds the bearing in, so I don't need that at this point. Now, set that aside over here. Now I need my 15/16. All right, where's that one at? There it is. Before I go too far, I'm going to use my corking kit 5040-X. Put in some long threaded rod here. That'll help keep this headpiece pretty well lined up. I'll take the rest of them out. I anti-seized everything else when I took it apart last time, and I wish it stayed as well anti-seized as these bolts. And now I got to get in here and kind of straddle this a little bit. Got my O-ring, goes around the outside. I'll get a new one with the mechanical seals. Here's this part of the mechanical seal. I'll wipe that down. Come on. And there we are. The other polished end, I don't know if you can see it too well, is right in there. And then Corkin gives a replacement grease seal for over here. There's a couple ways to get this out. You can take a piece of like 3/4 or 1/2 inch PVC pipe and come in from this side, get on that lip and drive it out. I'm going to use a punch, and I'm going to take this polished piece out, and usually it'll shatter when you do that. And then I'll get the grease seal out. Yeah, it shattered. The old style used to come apart a lot better. I mean, as far as one piece, but who cares? We're replacing it. There came the rest of it. Now I've got this two things to note here. I know you can't see it, but there's a really small pin right there. And then that's what lines up on this carbon face here. It's probably silicone now. I can't remember what its material is. But it's what holds it in place so it doesn't spin while the pump spins. And then this yellow band here is my grease seal. So I'm going to tap out that grease seal and tap in a new one. grease seal. I always put it in with the flat on the outside and the groove part on the inside to cup in the grease, keep it in place. I had a discussion with Corkin while I was there at their place. Their manual said to put it the opposite way. Never made any sense to me. I talked to him, and we kind of came to the same conclusion that it just needs to be put in the way I told you. So got my new mechanical seals. There's my new gasket, or O-ring. I like to try to just uncoil it and let it rest. It's kind of twisted, but it's a real monster when it's cold out. So I'm just going to clean up everything inside. There's a tool. Is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, here's a tool for putting in your grease seals. If you don't have a tool, just get a socket. And then when you feel around there, just make sure it feels evenly flat. If you may recess it a little too deep, but the force of the bearing and everything will walk it back out if you think you got just a little too deep. Now, time to clean this up. Now what I end up having to do, I'm going to have to take this out. So I'm not going to worry about getting this going or anything. So I'm going to take these out. I have to go now pull the other side. I'm going to set my seal out of the way. Hopefully I won't damage it. And while I'm here, I'm going to get some oil here. One thing you're going to use a lot of is lightweight machine oil. 3-in-1 oil is some of the best. I just don't happen to have any 3-in-1 oil. I got a lot of this AMSOIL synthetic air tool oil. It's just really, really lightweight machine oil. So I'm going to wipe all this down. I'm going to oil this up. I tend not to use Vaseline or any other kind of thicker lubricating agent like I do on the compressors or the sight glasses, because I use so much machine oil. When you're putting this back together, I just use machine oil for everything. So put this up before I damage it. Okay, now put that in there. Now I gotta find a place to put it. There, that should be mostly out of my way. Now we're gonna go over here and do the same thing. And this side, the only real difference is you got to just take your end cap off. Side. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll take our bearing cap off. Get myself a rag. That's not very good. Here's a good one. And once again, you can see the shims. It's the thickness we're after, not the order in which they're placed in. So we'll, come on out. There we are. Put that in same order it came out. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull off 2 of the big bolts. All right, now that that's in, we'll pull the rest of these. Come on. This is deceptively heavy if you're in an awkward position. So I try to be careful doing this, but these are a godsend. I used to use something different than this, and it helped a lot, but when Corken came out with this kit, that's really the way to go. So now we just kind of slide it straight off. And again, here comes our mechanical seal. Come on, come on. Usually not this difficult. Must not be pulled on it square. All right, all right, all right, all right. Come on. Come on. There's an O-ring on the inside here, and must be just enough junk in there. Come on. And honestly say I've never had one do this. Ah, there, come on, move. Just move. You little monster. Well, first time I ever had that happen. It's a shame it had to happen while I was filming. My O-ring stayed behind. You rotten thing. Gosh, I'm glad I'm replacing that. I'm gonna have to polish that cam up. Yeah, it's got some crud buildup on it. It should not have crud on it. Now let's get this here, this side plate or a wear plate. I can't remember what they call it. You can reverse this, which you can tell I did last time I had this apart, just as I wanted to. That's also what keeps the cam centered up. So now that I'm pulling it out, now you really got to watch it. This cam is deceptively heavy, and it's a good way to hurt yourself if you aren't careful with how you take it out. I am no expert at taking these out or putting them in, so every time I do it, it's just a fight. So it's a lot easier if you got somebody to help you. Yep, there goes one of my pins. In fact, it's exactly what I was looking after. I've got 5 of them, I believe. It's a new style of push pin Corken has their suppliers develop. I've got a few million gallons on this, and they wanted to see how they had performed. Personally, I liked them. I thought they did really well. And there's your vanes. And then this part is the part that goes forward. There's that. I'm going to keep these as spares because they're really good, and I'm going to install some new ones. Then when you get them out, I mean, you can check them. You know, you got wear here on this back side a little bit, and then this is designed to constantly wear down. Then you can feel out your cam. Generally, the cam has got to be pretty bad. There's always normal wear. There's always normal wear. I've never had any that didn't. Same thing when I used to run Blackmer at another place. It's another pin. Another pin. Pin number 4. Pin number 5. Should be it. Whew. Lord have mercy, I wish I was better at this. Take out my other side plate. I'm just feeling to see if I'm convinced there's anything really, really bad here. I don't think so. I'm not sure I want to replace that liner or not. I don't see a need. Don't see a need. So now that I want these pins, I don't put them away. I'm going to do something totally stupid and smash them or crush them. So I'm going to take these, run them over to the office real quick, and then I'll come back and God have mercy on me. I'm going to try to get this thing back together, and I always struggle getting these together. I always do. So can't promise there won't be a whole lot of cussing, but I'm just going to do my best. Shit, that's what I should have used. Alright. Alright, not a deal breaker. Not a deal breaker. Alright, let's see if I can make this any better. I'm going to start off with 240 grit. Let's try 400 now. Here we go. Whew, all right. Well, let's see what I can do. Hopefully I won't screw it up terribly bad. Now I think I need to start dropping pins. Ah, come on, you little monster. Stay in there. I built 5 or 6 of these pumps when I was at Corkin a few years back. And oh gosh, it is so much easier to build this inside a factory. So much easier. Everything they got is designed to put this together and to put it together well. And shit, all I got's me. Well, see if I can tie this off or something maybe. I've tried different things. I've tried doing this with a rope. Now come on man, what are you stuck on? Just something to give me a fighting chance. And this is where it really helps to have somebody on the other side. Ah, you bitch. All right, all right, all right. Come on. Ah, you rotten bastard. Where'd you fall out of? Those two are in. Got to be right here. Yeah, there it is, you little monster. All right, all right. What the fuck am I hitting? Come on, ah, you rotten bitch. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Come on now. Ah, damn it all. Oh, you rotten fucker. Looks like it's in. Looks like I didn't bend or break anything. Looks that way. Maybe I did. Hell, I don't know yet. I'm pretty much a lot centered now. Everybody looks decent. Let's hope it is. Got a little keyway notch. Lines right up into here. Keep this thing from spinning as well. And this is where it really helps to have two people. Because we got to kind of lift up. Oh, you rotten thing. All right, one side. Let's make sure I didn't screw up nothing here on the vanes. They look all right. Oh, stay in place. Ah. Oh, Lordy Lou. All right. Now, let's take you out. Now I need to work on getting this thing, the mechanical seal done on it. So I pull that one. Got my other. And we'll try to do the same thing. We'll try to tap that out. As you can tell, I don't do this every day, so I don't always remember what everything is called, and I'm not always that smooth with how I do things. See if I got them out. Got them both out. Got them both out right there. Right, it's a place to, yeah, right there. Now, we'll clean up here just a little bit. When I showed you the tool, I showed you the wrong tool last time. That's because, like I said, I don't do this every freaking day. There's the tool for putting these in. It's got a machine shoulder right here. Drop that on there and it fits down. That plastic piece is for putting the inside polished face in. So it worked. I just failed to use the tools as they were supposed to be used. So let's get this in there. Yeah, it went in better. And once again, you're going to feel, just use your fingertips. You don't want it humped. You want it all nice and flat. And where that little pin is, sometimes it'll want to hump right there. Today it went down, so yay. Kit's a real good kit if you remember what part does what. Okay, now wipe everything down. Now we're going to get into the mechanical seal itself. Oh, here it is. I did all my training originally with Blackmer pumps. And Blackmer pumps are the same, but they're different. I've now finally rebuilt and repaired more Corken pumps than I have Blackmers. And while I still have a great affection for Blackmer pumps, Corkens are easier to work on, easier to repair. And when it comes to actual mechanical life, Corkens are pretty tough to beat. I'd put them right up against any good Blackmer. But if you got a Blackmer that's running really well and does everything you want, I wouldn't swap it out for a Corken. Simply because I hate spending money, especially if what you've got works. Well, I'm going to get some of this oil off of them. If you notice here, I got a hydrostat. It's not required as far as any place I've ever read. It has been a godsend for me because at the volume I run everything, the speed I run everything, when we built this place, the only bypass valves available were 2-inch. Well, you can't run this pump with a 3-inch outlet and expect a 2-inch bypass to be sufficient. And so it had caused me in the past some trouble. So I installed this hydrostat, and I am convinced that has saved internal damage on my pump more than once. I don't think I've got it in every one, mostly because this is pump number 1, and pump number 1 has its own unique problems, just like pump number 4 has its own unique set of problems. So, get this grease off of me. Like I showed you, this thing has an O-ring right here. We want to lubricate that. So we're going to put machine oil all over this. And then this has a female notch. There's a male boss right there. So we want to get this to where it slides on there. See, there you go. It'll move on that. These plates will move. Nothing's solid. There we are. See, now we're on there. We're kind of locked. So what we're going to do, don't want no trouble. And this has got a notch here and a notch here, and it lines up with a corresponding notch here on this metal part. And now that little bastard's going to try to push right out. What I've got, Corken has that. Come on now. Here we are. Here we are. We'll compress that down. Want to be kind of gentle with that and its corresponding other end. We do not want to cause any damage. Now, this piece, you have a dollish end and then you have a mirror finish end. Dollish end goes in toward the bearing, this one goes out toward there, and it also has an O-ring. This you can put in by hand. They give you a paper disc you put on here and you push it in with your thumbs. That works really well. But it has that little notch right there, and it's got to line up on that pin. I have missed that pin more than once putting this in, and it's caused me trouble. If I was more mechanically inclined, probably wouldn't bother me at all. Now, let's double check that. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't want to screw this up. Dropped. Well, glory to God, it went in. Woohoo! All right, now time to put my threaded rods back in, and you still got to be careful this whole time you do it, because we don't want to kick this other side plate out. I've done that, and it's frustrating, because that's the perfect time. You kick that side plate out and that thing drops. It's a perfect time to crack a vane or bend a push pin or whatever stupid thing could happen. Now I'm going to wipe this down real quick, just double check. I have no problem with that thing having oil on it. I just don't want any kind of crud. And we'll put some oil on this. Now we put this on, we'll make sure our vent is pointing down. Now we want to make sure we seat this as squarely as we can. I have messed things up more than once at this stage. If you can't tell, I've messed up a lot of things over the years. Oh, come on. Get in there. There we are. Just a little bit off. That's all we were, just a little bit off. I just want everything to seat. That's all. Just want it all to seat. Now I'm going to take my impact driver, and I'm gonna set it on its lowest power setting, and we're just gonna snug these 6 up. There, I'm convinced that is good. Now I'll swap these to the other side, put them up, put in these last 2. And if you could see it, you'd see the side plate here poofed out just a little bit. I'm gonna have to shut down here and change this battery, I think. Okay, now it's just a matter of me getting this thing put back together on this side. Alright, gotta find my boss there, and then there's my notch. There we go. Now I need to oil this up. There we go. All right. Yay for that. Now, I need to finish what I started here in this head. Got my grease seal in. Now I got to put this polished piece in. Over at the factory at Cork, and they just got a little tray of machine oil. They just dip this whole thing in there. So I got to get that notch to line up that pin. Oh please, oh please, oh please, oh please, let's work. Yep, dropped it right in. Thank God for that. All right, we'll put that up. Let's oil this up. Now, there's my bottom grease zerk. All right, now let's kind of snug these up. All right, let's kind of give this a spin. I should be able to rotate it. Not binding up. Now it's a matter of putting everything right back in. All right, finish these off. Right. All right, next side. So let's go put on this other piece. Set screw is still inside. So is my key. So there we are for that. Now I gotta make some room here. Put my gear drive back in. Needless to say, that bastard's pretty heavy. Yeah, let's get kind of close. Let's see about getting that quadriflex sleeve in. Wait a minute here. I just noticed a couple of these teeth are really worn. Hold on, I gotta go run and get another one of these. Come on. That's it. You just got to find that spot on it. Pull both of them out. There we go. I'll do my adjusting on this one. Now we just got to get the 4 bolt holes down here to kind of line up. There you go. It can be difficult, but it's just a matter of turning it and twisting it and trying to just get all those little teeth to line right up. Now, all we're going to do is just snug these down just where they start to touch. Because now our next problem is getting the Lovejoy lined up. All right, there it is. Come on. There we go. There we are. Now, let's kind of snug these up. Now the trick is to get this square and get that one square and get them to stay square. Okay, here's that. Here's this. All right, I'm gonna check my gap here. I'm gonna measure it at 4 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and 8 o'clock. Well, I don't know what to think about that. It actually is square. Right now, this square here is showing that my gear drive's a little high, which it should be because I haven't tightened it down. And it shows I got to take this thing this way. Okay. Not far enough. Ooh, that might have. Nope. Okay, better. Yeah. Yeah. All right. It's flat there. Lovejoy's flat there. Ah, you fucker. Lovejoy's flat on the top. Let's snug this down. See what that does. I am 3 1/16 inch. Let's check across here again. Yeah, still sitting high on this side, but that should drop once I tighten everything down. That one's good. That one's good. I'm gonna say if I draw this down, we should be all right. And it's still showing just a couple 3,000s high on that side. But by golly, we're good on that. We are good on that. Good across there. I can't see that. We're good across there. We're good on the top. So I'm going to tighten up all the set screws. Well, get that one. Where I'm going to tighten up these a little bit more. Don't always trust these. There's a rag here. Shit. Yes. I don't like that. Give me this. Key's wanting to move on me. There we go. That's better. Now, I should be done. I'm going to wipe down all the anti-seize I put on. Keep it from slinging everywhere. And I've got everything tightened up. I'm calling that good. All I gotta do is put the shrouds on, put my pressure gauges in. I've already got the liquid charged up in here. And after that, I'm gonna unlock everything. Should be good to go. You see how there's nothing that easy about it. It's not so much it's hard, it's just I got everything I have to work around, my bypass pipe, my supports, overhead piping. Not everything comes apart the way you want it to. This is just kind of the real world. This is what this is what we have to put up with when we go to do something out here, out in the field, and not do something in a shop. So if you have a better way of doing it, smoother, faster, not as complicated, make a video. I encourage you, make a video and upload it. We need more people that have more points of view, more perspectives, better ways of doing it. If you've got any of that, I strongly encourage you, upload a video and get it out there. I certainly could use any help that anybody else has got out there. So please do it. If for nobody else's sake, do it for mine. Thanks.